single, or if you're married but not able to experience sexual expression with your spouse for whatever particular reason, this good even points to the fact that sexual desire is not some sort of trick God is playing on us. Even the experience of sexual desire that cannot be fulfilled can be looked through to see how much God longs to be with his people and how much we should long to be with him. So it in itself is a powerful, powerful picture of something that's true about the gospel. But one of the difficulties we get to in thinking today about marriage is that a lot of us, through society or through church teaching, we're comfortable with those three goods as being definitive of marriage. You know, I'll marry my best friend, we'll have great sex forever and have kids, or if you don't like kids, you get dogs or something. I'm sort of comfortable with that. But then we can hit an awkward point when we're confronted with the fact of, wait a minute, can't two men do all three of those things? Can't they be faithful to each other, experience sexual pleasure, and adopt? Because we've already said adoption is a valid form of household building. Can't two women do all those things? And we can hit this bump of like, wait a minute, I don't understand why. I think it's because we've lost intuitive touch with this fourth good of sexuality in marriage. It's just as much in Scripture, but we're starting to lose intuitive access to it. Now, each one of us as individuals and as cultures, we're made in God's image. So there are places intuitively where we are in touch with what God is like because we're made in his image. But we're also fallen image bearers, so every person in every society also have places that are wildly out of step with what God says. And I think as a society, we're starting to get out of step with this last one. And that's what we see, that one of the goods of sexuality in marriage is sexual difference, male and female. Not just for the act of procreation, but actually as a deep part of the metaphor. You have these two non-interchangeable parties that are unified, a unity in difference, a love across difference, because it pictures these two non-interchangeable parties, God and his people, who are able to be one through the work of Christ, unified, this love across a much bigger difference. And so it's very much a part of the picture, and we see this over and over again in Scripture. The husband or the male is always represented by God, and the wife or the female is always represented by the church. And so it's a stable metaphor that's trying to communicate something. And we see this in the Old Testament very clearly in Ephesians 5. It happens all over the place. And sometimes you might think, well, maybe the husband is always representing God because of like ancient patriarchy, you know,